ओम श्री गणोनां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पता शृण्वन् भूतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। योगिनं विश्वनाथाख्यम् अस्मत्तातस्वरूपिणम् आत्मलाभात् परं लाभं वक्तारं कदाचन गीतार्थग्रन्थकर्तारं श्रीगुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम्। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मे वाचं धृतिं बुद्धिं प्रचोदयात्। ओम नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च ओ नमः। ओम Friends, we are going to talk about take up Sanatana Dharma 33rd talk. We are beginning a new series of talks consisting of 5 of them entitled Meet Our Ancient Scriptures. So, meet our ancient scriptures, 1 of 5. In this first talk, Vedas. The Vedas, you know, are the primary source of Hinduism. It is our most ancient scripture. Hinduism derives its entire authority and inspiration from the Vedas. It is certainly the oldest religious literature of the world. It has 2 main divisions, mantras and brahmanas. Mantras and brahmanas. What are mantras? They contain chants and prayers to the divines, to the gods. But the brahmanas contain a sort of commentary on these mantras. Both have equal authority. Both are eternal. They are the revelations which rishis had by their great yogic insight. Now the mantras are of 3 kinds: Rik, Yajus and Saman. A Rik is a word, set feet and syllables. Yajus is all in prose. A Rik that can be sung is called a Saman. The 3 classes of mantras, Rik, Yajus and Saman, are compiled into 4 samhitas or compilations. Samhita means compilation. 4 compilations, and they get the names of Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Had 1 or more brahmanas, but only some of them are extant. Some of the brahmanas have portions called aranyakas. Now, there are mantras and brahmanas. Brahmanas are commentary on the mantras. As for each samhita, but only some of the brahmanas are extant. And some of these brahmanas have portions called aranyakas. That is where we find samhitas and brahmanas have various shakhas, recensions, depending upon the rishis to whom they were revealed and after whom they were named. Gautama Shakha, like that. We are told there were 1,180 recensions or shakhas, of which, fortunately because some of them remain, of which there are only 11 extant now. The most interesting part about the Vedas is that they were never written down. Believing, you believe it or not, they were never written down until in book to print directly. So they skipped the writing eras of the entire mankind. They were transmitted orally, all world heritage. Written literatures of great writers like Shakespeare and Kalidasa have several readings and versions. But Vedas go back to several thousands of years, at least 5,000. Throughout the length and breadth of India, not a syllable is different from what it is everywhere else. How did this happen? The massive content of the Vedas, 1,53,000 words in Rig Veda and 1,09,000 words in Yajurveda. Diverse poetical and prose compositions have all been learnt by rote training. The training goes like this. The teacher says each word or combinations of words is important in the Vedas. Swara, Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, like that. Anudatta is the low and Udatta is high. Swarita is in between. So then, the combinations of words with the proper incantation or swara, the students repeat it twice. The teacher says it once, student repeats it twice. Sanskrit word. This is the proper method for Adhyayana. The Vedas are studied. The study of Veda is called Adhyayana. And the Adhyayana is, it starts like this. Teacher says one word or combinations of words, the student repeats it twice. The teacher goes to the next word, then the student repeats that twice. It goes on, up till a certain portion is complete. Then the next day they repeat it. They do the same thing. After some time, the teacher begins to combine the words so that in due time, after some, he can repeat a whole sentence. The student can repeat the whole sentence just by that. No book, no seeing anything. It's all by Shruti, what is heard and transmitted. Only by hearing it is being transmitted. They learn almost in the same way to recite the text in continuous form along with the incantations. This process is taken up through the entire Veda. The continuous recitation of a Vedic text is called Samhita Patha. Accuracy of the transmitted text is preserved by resorting to an artifice which is unique to Vedic lyrics. The artifice consists of 9 different techniques or modes of recital. The first mode is Padapatha, so word by word. Padapatha, which simply recites each word of the text separately in the order in which it appears in the text, with the proper incantation, of course. The incantation is never lost. I shall take an example of a full sentence from the Yajurveda, Rudra Prashna, to show you what this Padapatha means. Padapatha. Yes. This is I am taking the text. Samhita text. Yesham Purushanam, Yesham Pashunam, Mabhirmaro Yesham, Kim Chanamamat. This is one sentence from the Rudra Prashna. In fact, those of you who have heard me on the talk about Rudram, you would have seen this. This simply means O God, do not frighten these. Ma bhe. Ma araha. Mo yesham kimchana mamat. Do not frighten these, our men and animals. Purushanam, Pashunam, Yesham Purushanam. These Purushas, these men and these animals. Please do not frighten them. May none of these perish. May none of these perish. Ma araha. May none of these lack health. Mo amamatu. This is the simple one of the prayers. This is why I have taken one sentence. Remember, Veda is very big. I am taking and not even an iota, very small one sentence. As I told you, it has 1 lakh and odd words. Here I have taken probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, some 13, 12, 13 words. That's all what I have taken. So this occurs in the 10th Anuvaka of Rudra Prashna. The break into pada, into words, is given down below. You can see that. Yesham Purushanam, Yesham Pashunam, Ma Bhe, Ma Araham. This mo is a technical thing that you can forget the present unless you want to learn the pada recitation. Anyway, Yesham Kim Chana Amamat. Similarly, Amamaditya Amamat. That's also a technicality. So the words are there. Yesham Purusham. This is now, as I told you, you see there are 1,09,287 words is given here. The Pandits who have studied the Vedas thoroughly, they know all this breakup into 1,09,287 words in the order in which it appears in the Veda. They can say that. That is called the pada recital. But after the pada recital, I am not able to get the camera. Anyway. Okay. After the pada recital, there are 8 technical modes. I think I should bring it down. After the pada recital, there are 8 technical modes, the sole purpose being the preservation of the text without the loss or addition of even a single syllable or a single incantation. These 8 are Krama, Jata, Ghana, Mala, Ratha, Sikha, Danda, Rekha. These are very technical. I will just tell you what they are. Only one of them. In each mode, the order of recital of the words is specified as a particular combination, permutation of their original sequence. For example, I will now give you the Ghana Patha. Yeah. That is sample of Ghana Patha I am giving you. So what the Ghana recital means, there is a certain rule for the repetition of the words. You know, the pada is the basic, padapata is the basic thing. You know, you must know how to break. Yesham Purushanam, Yesham Pasunam, like that. So, now the Ghanapata is a very complicated recital. If the original, I am giving you a simple example first, then I will apply it to the portion I have taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose there are 5 words in a sentence. So I have given here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Ghanapata goes like this. 1, 2, then 2, 1. Then 1, 2, 3. Then 3, 2, 1. Then 1, 2, 3. A small pause. Then you drop away that 1. Take 2, 3. 2, 3, 3, 2. Then 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2. 3, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now you drop the 2 and go to like this. 3, 4, 4, 3. 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3. 3, 4, 5, like this. So this is the Ghana method of recitation. So now look at this Yesham Purushanam business. The padas are Yesham Purushanam, Yesham Pashunam, for these men and for these Pashus, animals. Ma be, don't frighten them. Ma be, ma araha, don't frighten them. And mo araha, there is, do not, let them not lack their health. Yesham kim chana amamatu. Yesham kim chana amamatu. These are the words. So now it is in that order. So I am looking at it and I am giving you the Ghana recital. It will take about 2 minutes perhaps. Follow me carefully. Yesham Purushanam Purushanam Yesham Yesham Purushanam Yesham Yesham Purushanam Yesham Yesham Purushanam Yesham. Small pause. Then you start with Purushanam. Purushanam Yesham Yesham Purushanam Yesham Pashunam Yesham Purushanam Purushanam Yesham Pashunam. Small pause. Then Yesham Pashunam Ma Pashunam Sham Yesham Pashunam Ma Pashunam Ma Pashunam Pashunam Ma Bher Ma Pashunam Ma Bher Ma Bher Ma Bher Ma Bher Ma Bher Ma Bher Bher ma ro aro ma bher ma araham ma ro aro ma aro mo aro ma aro mo aro mo aro mo yesham mo aro mo yesham. Mo yesham, yesham, mo yesham, kim yesham, mo yesham, kim, mo yiti mo, yesham, kim yesham, yesham, kim chana chana, kim yesham, kim chana, kim chana, mamada, chana, kim chana, mamati, chana, mamada, chana, mamati. Amamaditya mamate. This is the Ghana recital. Remember, the whole Veda, these Pandits, what are called Ghanapatis, those people who have learnt the Ghana for the full Veda, for all the 1 lakh and odd words, they have done this. So the forward and backward and like that they have preserved so they can recite it. You cannot interpolate a single word from outside anybody. All these 5,000 years, the words have come exactly in the same order, in the same way, with the same incantation. That is the beauty. And this is only one of the methods of recital, Ghana recital. Of course, I have taken only the small thing, one sentence as I told you, and have given you the sample of the Ghana recital. The significant part to note is that in Sanskrit the order of words does not matter for the meaning of the sentence. Suppose you have tried this with an English sentence. Rama vanquished Ravana. Rama vanquished Ravana. Try to have a Ghana on this. Rama vanquished Rama. Rama vanquished Ravana. Ravana vanquished Rama. Look at the absurdity now. See, the meaning changes. But in Sanskrit, the meaning never changes. Because each word has the case built into it. So whether it occurs in the first portion or second portion or third portion, or you repeat the order, the meaning is the same. That is why this Ghana recital has a great value, because in a Ghana recital, if you just forget the first two words, then you will see, look at the number 3 there. Look at the number 3 there. It appears how many times? It appears 13 times. The number 4 also appears 13 times. That is, the third word will appear 13 times. The fourth word will appear 13 times. Every word will appear 13 times except the first and last word, which will appear 8 times and 5 times like that. So, 13 times repetition, if you have full Ghana recital. You see, in the Navaratri festival or the 9-day festival of the Sri Ramanavami time, in temples or important places, they will have Ghana recital of the whole Veda for all the 9 days, in order for them to complete the whole Krishna Yajurveda. And by a single recital of that, one would have repeated the whole Veda 13 times. Let me go back to, let me close this now and go to this. People find it difficult to accept that the Vedas are eternal. The significance is very difficult to be understood, but it can be understood only if the concept of time in Hindu cosmology is understood. It is not right to say that the universe was created at a particular point of time out of some nothing. No. For if something is created or born, it has to die, to be dissolved. So the universe was created, according to the Vedas, only by transformation of something which was previously existing, latent. Surya Chandrama Saudhata Yata Putmama Kalpayate, says the Veda itself. So, just as the sun and the moon were there before, in the same way it was manifested later. So creation is just a manifestation of what was unmanifest before. Srishti, which is creation, Samhara, which is dissolution, are only two recurring events. In the end, manifestation means names and forms appear. Non-manifestation means names and forms disappear. The only ultimate ever-present reality is Brahman. Even Brahma, the creator, comes and goes in this long cycle. He is the womb in which the entire universe dissolves. He is the one in which the entire universe dissolves. Each period of manifestation is a day of Brahma. From one period of manifestation to another period of manifestation, many things survive in their latent fashion. Among these are the Vedas. It is in this sense that the Vedas are eternal. In fact, the Vedas are nothing but Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishvasitam Etate, says Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Purusha Sukta says, of course, Richas Samani Jadgire, Chandagam Sijagire, Tasman, Yajus Tasma, Dajayatam, as if the Vedas appeared one after the other. No, this is only symbolic and allegorical. So the Vedas are eternal. They are the life breath of the Lord Ishvara himself. The other major thing that survives kalpas is the complex of prints of impressions called vasanas. Our vasanas, these remain. That is how we are born even after a kalpa goes. Rigveda, which is all poetry, has more than 10,000 riks. What is a rik? Each rik is a mantra, is called a sukta. There are 1,000 suktas at least in the Rigveda. But Yajurveda is all in prose. In the next talk we shall actually take up the content of the Vedas. But right now I am giving you only the structure. Yajurveda is all in prose. It is made up of yajus. What yaj means? Worship. There were two Yajurvedas, Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. I will give you the sample of Yajurveda prose now. The Yajurveda prose is a continuous recitation, sentence after sentence. They are all strung together. So I am giving you, from the first chapter of Krishna Yajurveda, first kanda, first chapter, Manevam Devebhya Shakeyam Veshayatva Pratyushtagam Raksha Pratyushta Aratayah Dhurasi Dhurvadhurvantam Dhurvatam Yo Osman. When I pass for lack of breath. I am not supposed to pass. That is why people recite it in company, so that the pause will not be felt. You can take up. Dhurasi dhurvantam dhurvatam yo osman dhurvatitam dhurvayam vayam dhurvamaratamam vannitamam devahutamam akhrutamasiga virdhanam drigam hasvamahvan mitrasya tva chakshusha prekshe mavihirmasam vitha matva higim sisham. Note the word matva. I will tell you something about it later. I am continuing. I am not supposed to pause. Matva higam sisham uvatayam pushnaustha abhyam agnaye jushtan nirvapam yagni shoma abhyam idam devanam idamunas sahaspatyai tvanara atyai suvarabhivikesham vaishva naram jyotihi drigumhantam dirvyatyapanapritibhyo urvantar aditya stopa Popasthe sadayam yagne havyagam rakshasva. This is one, not very long, not very short also, a medium size, Anuvakam, a whole paragraph. This actually has 18 sentences strung together. 18 sentences. How many words are there? We know. There are 46 words, 96 words here. I told you about Matva in Shisham. Up to that Matva there are 50 words. How do I know? It is at the end of the paragraph, at the end of the Anuvaka, there is what is called word for that. That Korvai is, it says, Matva Shakchatva Rigum Shakcha. So when they get by heart this thing, they also get by heart this. Matva Shatchatva Rigum Satcha. Up to Matva it is 50 words. Then Shatchatvarim, 46 are there. So they always, at the end of every 50 words, there is a word that occurs. So in the final Korvai, ending words of the piece of 50, a piece of 50 is called Panchashat. Panchashat means 50. So that whole paragraph, that thing is called Panchashat. So the Anuvaka, which is the whole paragraph, is broken into Panchashats, 50, 50, 50. And the last 50, which may not be 50, it may be less than 50, that is mentioned in the words of each Panchashat is mentioned and this. So that Korvai says here, Matva Shatchatvarijum Shakcha. Therefore, in this paragraph, like, so the Korvai usually mentions the 50th, 100th, 150th words and also tell you the number of words that remain in the last block, which is less than 50. This goes on throughout the Samhita, and this is also got by heart by the Pandits who learn the Veda. That is how the Vedic scholars keep tracks in the Veda. So now let us see the general structure of Krishna Yajurveda. I am going to take only Krishna Yajurveda because that is the only thing with which I am a little familiar. The other Vedas I am not familiar. Let us see. Where is this Krishna Yajurveda? Yes, Krishna Yajurveda. Krishna Yajurveda Samhita. Samhita is the collection, compilation, as I told you. It has 1 lakh and so many words in it. There are 7 kandas. Kanda is the major division. First kanda, second kanda, 7 kandas. Chapters are called prashnas. And each prashna, each chapter has several anuvakas. So the total number of anuvakas in the Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda, is 651. And anuvakas are broken into panchashats, as I told you. There are 2198 panchashats. Each panchashat has 50 words, except the last one. The last one which will have less than 50. So the total number of words is also counted, and this is Samhita portion. There is a Brahmana portion. I am talking of Krishna Yajurveda. I will show you what is Krishna Yajurveda. If you really want to see what is Krishna Yajurveda, you can see that here. This entire thing, by a press in Kumbakonam, Vaidikavardhini Publishers Press. This is the complete book. Then there are other Vedas, of course. So then, Samhita, Krishna Yajurveda contains Samhita, Brahmana and Aranyaka. Taittiriya Brahmana, that has 25 chapters, 300 and odd anuvakas, and the Brahmana consists of sentences. You see, the Samhita, as I told you, is a continuous prose. Yajurveda. Rigveda is all in poetry, but Yajurveda, Samhita consists of all in prose. But when you go to Brahmana, they are in small sentences. So instead of counting 50 words there for a Panchashat, they count 10 sentences, 1664. So total number of Vakyas, each the sentences. So there are 10 sentences in each Dashani. The total number of sentences, Vakyas, is counted. Taittiriya Aranyaka at the end of the Brahmanas. There are 10 chapters, of which chapter 1 is the solar energy chapter, of which I talked I gave a talk, solar energy, in Taittiriya Aranyaka. That is chapter 1. But there are 10 chapters. 7, 8, 9 are called the Taittiriya Upanishad. The Upanishad is at the end of the Aranyaka. And the chapter 10 is the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Plus, unusually, there is a unique solitary text called Kataka Aranyaka of 3 chapters with 30 anuvakas in the Krishna Yajurveda. This is the whole of Krishna Yajurveda, of which Rudram Prashnam is 1 chapter of which I have talked, and as I told you, paragraphs. All this is about Krishna Yajurveda. Similar statistics can certainly be given about the other Vedas and Shakas. I am not attempting that. But in the next talk, we shall see what these Vedas talk about. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisho गोब्रह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. Contains Samhita, Brahmana and Aranyaka. Taittiriya Brahmana that has 25 chapters, 300 and odd Anuvakas, and the Brahmana consists of sentences. You see, the Samhita, as I told you, is a continuous prose. Yajurveda. Rigveda is all in poetry, but Yajurveda, Samhita consists of all in prose. But when you go to Brahmana, they are in small sentences. So instead of counting 50 words there for a Panchashat, they count 10 sentences, 1664. So total number of Vakyas, each the sentences. So there are 10 sentences in each Dashini. The last total number of sentences, Vakyas, is counted. Taittiriya Aranyaka at the end of the Brahmanas. There are 10 chapters, of which chapter 1 is the solar energy chapter, of which I talked in another. I gave a talk, solar energy, in Taittiriya Aranyaka. That is chapter 1. But there are 10 chapters. 7, 8, 9 are called the Taittiriya Upanishad. The Upanishad is at the end of the Aranyaka. And the chapter 10 is the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Plus, unusually, there is a unique solitary text called Kataka Aranyaka of 3 chapters with 30 Anuvakas in the Krishna Yajurveda. This is the whole of Krishna Yajurveda, of which Rudram Prashnam is 1 chapter of which I have talked, and as I told you, paragraphs. All this is about Krishna Yajurveda. Similar statistics can certainly be given about the other Vedas and Shakas. I am not attempting that. But in the next talk, we shall see what these Vedas talk about. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisho gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तं न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु.